All right, so I just played clips from what I thought was a very classy speech from Marco Rubio at the Munich Security Conference. And I want to contrast that with what some people, our political opponents on the Democrat left, are up to. And let's just go to the Munich Security Conference for our first clip. This is being described as maybe the dumbest answer ever given by a politician. Let's play cut 10. This is AOC.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is this is, of course, a very longstanding policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point, and we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
I admit, I'd never thought of it that way. Had you guys? So it's great points all around. No, it's all word salad. She's no idea what she's talking about. She can't take a strong stand or anything like that because she doesn't know what she's talking about. Now, my take is we can't let the whole global semiconductor industry collapse because China wants to reclaim more of Taiwan. That's my take on it. You might disagree, but at least give an answer. Like, do you have an answer? She might be the vice president in 3 years. Seriously. Don't underestimate it. It could happen. One thing to track is we've been looking at Virginia a lot, Breitbart News in our newsroom, where we've got someone, Abigail Spanberger, who ran as a moderate and is governing like a radical. And this is going to be the playbook. Andy Beshear, who is the Democrat governor of Kentucky, he basically let the cat out of the bag on CNN over the weekend. Let's play cut 8, please.
How do you respond to a Democratic voter who might say, I like you, I like your track record in a red state or red Commonwealth, but you're too soft-spoken?
Well, first, yes, that message is working. Look at Abigail Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill, who ran great campaigns in races that should have been structurally difficult. And they both won by double digits. The DGA and our candidates are winning everywhere.
Basically, that's saying that if I were to win, if I were to run for president, be vice president, I'm happy to govern as a hard leftist so long as I win. I will appease the Democrat base. That's why I don't think that guy's got the eye of the tiger. I was talking, even my Washington bureau chief, Matt Boyle, was saying that he could be a real threat in 2028. I don't see it. I think he's very unimpressive, and I think that people are going to see through his stuff, and he's just not compelling. He's not a compelling guy. But just note that they don't have anyone thus far who has put their hand up and said they're going to run as a moderate. This is how they're running. Here's Chuck Schumer. Let's play cut 11, please.
What they are proposing in this so-called SAVE Act is like Jim Crow 2.0. They make it so hard to get any kind of voter ID that more than 20 million legitimate people, mainly poorer people and people of color, will not be able to vote under this law. We will not let it pass in the Senate. We are fighting it tooth and nail. It's an outrageous proposal that is, that shows the sort of political bias of the MAGA right. They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote because they often don't vote for them.
In a past life, I would say, well, we need more of the clip to see if Jake Tapper responds, but Jake Tapper is not going to do anything important there. But so just mark that down. If you believe that people should have a ID to vote, the same way you need a Vax card to eat at the Soho House Malibu during COVID. If you need an ID to vote, then that is the same as Jim Crow 2.0. Okay? Then keep that in mind while you're listening to this clip from Barack Obama, who appeared in a left-wing podcast over the weekend. Let's play cut 1, please.
The other side does the mean, angry,
demagoguery,
exclusive, us, them, divisive politics. That's their home court.
Yeah.
Our court is coming together. Our court is, look, a great example. Wasn't political. Bad Bunny's halftime show.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Well, it resonated. It was smart because it wasn't preaching. It was showing. It was demonstrating and displaying.
That's their thing, coming together. If we want voter ID, we're doing Jim Crow 2.0. They assassinate Charlie Kirk. Years of us being told that it is that we're fascists or we're Nazis just because we want to have a border enforced. But they're the ones who come together. And Bad Bunny's halftime show, that wasn't political at all. Even though the guy is boycotting doing concerts aside from the Super Bowl in mainland lower 48 states, because why? He doesn't like the president's policies. But they're the ones who are good at coming together. They're the most divisive people, and they're the biggest gaslighters.